Today we're talking about an absolute classic of a film that you may or may not have ever heard of. Now I know my subscribers have great taste in film and I believe are the correct age demographic to have at least heard of this movie, but if you've never heard of it, I think you should watch it, unless you are not of age. Okay, if you're not 18, I'm not condoning that you watch this film because this video is not for you, so get out of here, Johnny. But if you are of age and you've never seen this movie, or if you have, stick around because 1981's Heavy Metal is absolutely goated. Hey there all you beautiful guardians of the glaze, welcome back to the Milky Donut. If you're new here, this is the Milky Donut. We do all things video games, movies, and pop culture. And if you're not new here, man, you are as cute as I remember. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like, hype, and comment on this video for your chance to become subscriber of the week, as you can see here with Mr. Nesquick. So if you're not new here, you know that I usually do like long scripted videos of playing old games and video games and whatever else I want to talk about, but this is going to be like just an off-the-cuff, unscripted video because I'm going to my new plan is to kind of make, because those videos take so long to make, so I'm going to try to do one of those every Saturday and upload like a longer form, scripted, highly edited video, and then during the week I at least want to do one video where I just kind of like talk about stuff, so that's what you're getting here. And if you are part of my 3% female audience, I do apologize. This is probably like one of the most bro videos I'll ever make. I do call females attractive, that of which are fictional characters. I know that's kind of frowned upon these days, but this one's kind of for the boys, so we're just gonna get into it. So like I said, if you've watched any of my previous videos, especially of recent, like my me discovering some old games from the 80s and 90s, which I am going even further back, so don't you guys worry, we're going way back, like arcade. You guys give me a ton of video games to play, so I have to compile a list because it's a little overwhelming, but just stick with me. As far as movies go, I actually am fairly like versed in older movies because 90% of my favorite movies of all time come from anywhere from the 50s, like Godzilla 1954, and the 80s. I would say more 80s and 90s because most of my favorite films are from the 80s and 90s. So I actually have known about this movie for years, and this is actually like, this movie is like every 15-year-old boy's like dream because there's hot girls, there's nudity, it's a cartoon, which is like, it's like a perfect trifecta. Like, I know, I said if you're not 18, you shouldn't watch this movie, which YouTube, you hear me? If you're not 18, you should not watch this film. That being said, if I ever have a son and I feel like he's reached the age where I feel like I can show him something, I'm gonna be like, hey buddy, I'm gonna change your life. We're not gonna tell your mom about it, but we're gonna have a movie night, and yeah, it's gonna be an absolute core memory. So Heavy Metal, if you don't know anything about this movie, it was released in 1981. It's a Canadian adult cartoon film, and it's amazing. Not only does it have, you know, hot girls in it, it also has a phenomenal soundtrack. I mean, the bands that make up this playlist, Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Cheap Trick, Devo, Don Felder from the Eagles, Donald Fagen, Grand Funk Railroad, Journey, Nazareth, Riggs, Sammy Hagar, Stevie Nicks, Trust. Even without the movie, you watch it. I mean, I grew up on metal and rock, so I'm already partial to this type of music. But when I watched this movie when I was young for the first time, I had to go on Google and I was like, Heavy Metal soundtrack, and man, it's so good, so good. The soundtrack is so good. I'm trying to iterate how good it is. I mean, it's a mix of like hard rock, proto metal, new wave, classic thrash. I mean, watch the movie. So the movie is built on like an anthology foundation because it's not, I mean, it is, all the stories are related and it does come full circle at the end, which is, it's phenomenal. It's amazing how they worked all these stories in that seemingly have nothing to do with each other. It's based on, all right. Let me get my thoughts together. This is why I script my videos. It's based off of a glowing green orb from like the middle of the universe. It's called Lochnar, and it's basically like the embodiment of all evil. And once that legendary intro ends with, you know, the Corvette flying through space and going into orbit and then going through the atmosphere and catching on fire, and then dude, it's like, it's the most 80s amazing, awesome thing ever. Like, it is truly just metal. It's like the name doesn't lie. But after the intro, you're met with this little girl that's in this house. It's like on top of a hill, and Lochnar, this green orb, shows up and basically like melts her face off and kills her. Like, it's like, okay, so what is this thing? And then it goes straight into your first anthology film, which is based on a character of the name Harry Canyon. Side note, I believe that there are multiple characters in later movies that are based off of this character, such as Corbin Dallas from The Fifth Element. There's way too many similarities between this short film and The Fifth Element. I won't get super into it, but like if you watch this movie and then watch The Fifth Element, I think it'll be very self-explanatory. But Harry Canyon, he's a taxi driver in a dystopian future New York City, which I have a thing for dystopian futures, especially like big cities like Blade Runner and this movie and The Fifth Element, stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but this movie is a mix of hand-drawn animation and rotoscoping, which is just such a good look. It's so retro looking. If you don't know what rotoscoping is, it's basically they draw over an actual image and then animate that drawn version of it. Anyways, there's crime everywhere, there's corrupt cops, total, complete urban decay. You know, the dystopian New York trope. It's exactly what you think it is, but he basically picks up a girl being chased by gangsters, and this girl is good looking enough, so she seduces him, and they go back to his apartment, and they get along very well, if you know what I mean. And it ends up that she's actually carrying the Lochnar and claims that it's a very dangerous thing. She doesn't know what it is. And essentially, mild spoiler alert for this one story, she ends up trying to double cross him and then he kills her. And then the story basically wraps up. Now there is more to this short film, I'm being very vague, but I just love how it's voiced over by Harry Canyon. It's very Taxi Driver-esque, and I just love how they do it. But I'm going to really only talk about 3 stories, the next of which is B-17, which is one of my favorites in this whole movie. It's basically a World War II bomber mission over the Pacific Ocean. A B-17 plane gets hit and crew members die like in midair, and then the Lochnar reanimates the dead crew as zombies. And this is literally, if a Megadeth album cover came to life, it would be this short story. And it is amazing with the music and the art. It's way more horror, like it's way more horror vibe than the other ones, but it's just the rotoscoping of the plane and the zombie, like it's so good. It's just so good. And then you wrap up with the Tarna storyline, who I'm not going to spoil who that is. She's like the last of a warrior race, and it also spawned like one of my tastes in women, as I'm sure it did many young men that saw this movie. But it wraps up everything. It's so good. Emotionally, great. Story, amazing. Animation, phenomenal. Soundtrack, legendary. You just need to watch this movie. As far as I'm aware, it wasn't received well. And yes, this movie is very hypersexualized. I understand that. I'm not saying that every movie needs to be like this, but this was a time before embracing the femininity of women was very much frowned upon. Again, I'm not saying that everything needs to be hypersexualized, but based on what this movie is based off of, which is an adult graphic novel, which is very sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of thing. Everything about this movie is hyper. It's hyper fantasy. It's hyper sci-fi. It's hyper sexualized. I mean, it just works for what it is. And we're just never gonna get stuff like this again, and it's kind of a shame. This movie also wasn't received very well upon release, but eventually, as most of these types of movies do, it got a cult following, and it's now pretty much one of the best adult cartoon films of all time, at least as far as I'm aware, and is what I think of this movie, I would say so. But if you haven't seen this film, I highly recommend it. Again, if you are of the age of 18, viewer discretion is advised, but it's so good. It's very nostalgic for me, even though I wasn't born in the 80s, I wasn't alive in the 80s, I really wish I was. But this movie is certified glazed here at the Milky Donut, and if you haven't seen this movie, watch it. If you have seen it, let me know what you think about heavy metal in the comments below. And yes, there is a sequel that was released in 2000. It is not even close to as good as this one, so maybe we'll talk about that one later, but there's some good music in it. It is what it is. But let me know in the comments below. Like and hype this video. Subscribe to become a guardian of the glaze. Again, thank you Nesquik for being such a good subscriber, and I'll see you next time on the Milky Donut.